All right, traders, good day. Welcome back to the live trading room. Happy Thursday to you. Got a very exciting session for you guys today, but want to make sure you guys can hear me and see me. So just give me a yeah if that is the case. Welcome, YouTubers. Welcome, trading viewers. Welcome to you guys on the live stream for the trade of the day. If you guys are new, this is the Tier 1 Trading New York Live Trading Room. What I do is I come in for the first session and stream it live so you guys get a chance to kind of see what it's like inside this live trading environment. Of course, if you want to join for the full sessions, you can do so over at tier1trading.com. Now, we got a news day coming out. Yesterday was a dull day. Today, we've got some news coming out. We've got a monetary policy statement coming out from the ECB, and we have a press conference to follow. And the press conference is going to be the main thing that's on the radar. So expect probably up until, if you want to give it just an hour, up until about 9:30 is going to be a time of impactful news. So if you have any rules about you don't actively trade during high impact news events, you can pay attention, but usually 9:30 is probably where you'll be safe. Now, what's interesting about today is that this news specifically relates to one of the main trading ideas that have been on our radar for the entire week. You guys know I've been giving googly eyes over the euro yen since we started, right? We talked about the massive continuation opportunity here on the yen. I'm not sure if we did it on a live stream or just in the live room, but we're looking at really on the weekly, the opportunity to move to about 145s at a minimum. And this is ever since we passed 140. So about a 500 pip move. So this is where today's news release, and there still is meat on the bone just from a technical perspective. You guys can see, I don't know if you've been paying attention to it. We did start retracing. We did not get to the ultimate destination. We have started retracing. So we are looking for that pullback trade. So first and foremost, it's important to understand that this is a technical setup that's on my radar. And why that's important is because I believe, right, this is just my opinion from lots of experience, that you have to choose what type of trader you want to be, right? You got to be technical or fundamental. Now, you can blend both together, but at the end of the day, one has to be the centerpiece of your philosophy, meaning that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm a technical trader, but I take fundamental news into account. Or at the end of the day, I'm a fundamental trader, but I use technicals for entry, right? Does that make sense? One has to be above the other, because if they're both even, how do you ever know what to do? Right? You're going to bounce back and forth between today I'm going to enter because of a fundamental reason, but today I'm going to enter because of a technical reason. And it's basically the same as not having any rules. So I do think you can use both together. I use both together in certain circumstances, and I use them differently in my trading. I swap them in my investing. In my investing, I am fundamental first, technical second. In my trading, I am technical first, fundamental second. But you got to know which is which. And for me, when it comes to trading, it is technical. So first and foremost, I always need to have a technical reason to take a trade. Now, every once in a while, there will be a fundamental reason that lines up in the same direction as that technical reason. And that is when we have the opportunity for home run trades. And you'll hear me refer to home run trades as just basically really big trading opportunities that have really massive targets that are anything out of your norm. So like, again, if we retrace to 142 and you ride this to 145, that's a 300 pip move. For me, that's not a normal move. I don't usually shoot for 300 pips on my trade. So this would be considered a home run trade, one where you're kind of swinging big and going for the fences. Of course, still protecting yourself on the back end, but you're going for a bigger than usual target. And again, I do that when the fundamentals and the technicals line up. So we already have the technical approach. We already know the setup, continuation, we're past structure. We identified the next structure, waiting for a pullback and reason for entry that started. Today is where the fundamentals may fuel this flame. And the euro yen in particular is a very interesting pair. And I think it's setting up for a big pop. And I'll tell you why. So the ECB is under pressure, right? Everyone else is hiking rates, right? US is hiking rates. Australia is hiking rates. India is hiking rates. Everyone is hiking rates except for the ECB. So there is not only pressure to start hiking rates, but everyone has been hiking rates by 50 basis points. And I believe, again, I'm not too strong in the fundamental. I believe right now the expectation for the ECB, not today, but in the future, I think July maybe, is a 25 basis point hike. You guys probably know more better than me, but you can correct me on that. So here's the deal. You've got, well, let me add this. So you've got this in one sense or not. You've got a somewhat hawkish ECB because they want to be aggressive. At the same time, do you guys know what's happening with the yen? Does anyone know what's happening with the yen? Bank of Japan, they do this a lot. This is why the yen is one of my favorite pairs to trade. I limit my exposure for this same reason, but as far as home run trades, it's one of my favorites because, yeah, Bank of Japan tends to come out and say whatever they want to say. They don't care. So essentially what they've said is, you know what? Yeah, yen's been weakening. It's been dropping against many of these major currencies. And that's a pretty positive thing. We kind of like it. And we're not going to really do anything about it. We're good. Right? So you got Bank of Japan saying, hey, weak yen. Cool. We'll take that. So a dovish Bank of Japan. You've got a hawkish euro where it's like, we need to hike rates. What common sense prediction can you make for the currency pair? If we just go back to like the if you want to consider it like the general basics of like hiking interest rates equal good, cutting interest rates equal bad, like that. Not that it's that simple, but yeah, you would project a bullish move. Now, from a technical perspective, what are we already projecting? A bullish move, right? So see how it's in line? Now, the interesting thing is this, right? And this is where things, and we have no idea how it's going to play out until, again, the fireworks show may start in about 7 minutes, probably not until 8:30 though. But here's the interesting part. So we talked about everyone else is hiking by 50. And the feel is that the market wants the ECB to be like, hey, everyone else is hiking by 50. We're going to hike by 50 as well. Right? That's kind of the expectation. That's what the market wants. If they come out and give a less hawkish statement where it's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to take our time and slowly. Do you think the market's going to react positively or negatively to that? Remember, it's not about good news or bad news. It's about what the market expects and deviation from the expectation. So if the market is expecting one thing, if all this is priced in because we think we're going to see a very aggressive hike, and all of a sudden they're like, maybe not, we're going to see a negative reaction. And that negative reaction should be accompanied by some bearish candles. Now, the negative reaction is probably, this is what I would assume. Again, this is just the investment mind happen. This is how you get down in the stock market, right? Kind of putting two and two together. So you've got that short-term negative impact where it's like, no, we expected this. We thought they might say this. Oh, we're disappointed. And the market sells off a little bit. But bigger picture, has anything changed with what I just told you? ECB wants to hike. Bank of Japan wants everything to be weak, and they show no signs of changing that. We should still continue to see a bullish euro yen. And this should be in the euro in general, but the euro yen in particular for this example, because I think this is a really cool mix of contrasting philosophies, I guess. we should still continue to see a bullish euro yen. Now, if you want to go into like the crazy talk, right? Where we talk about insiders and institutional traders and how, manipulation in the market. If you're new, when I say the word manipulation, I don't mean it in a negative way. I don't mean like someone is hacking into your computer and changing your orders and stuff like that. What I mean with manipulation is like the game is being played where people want you to do one thing so they can do another thing. So if you think about it from that perspective, hold on real quick, buddy. I'm working, buddy. You gotta stay out, all right? My, my little guy heard home run trade. He's like, oh, daddy's gonna make some money. Where's my toy request? Came with his little notepad of little toys circled. Said, hey, wait a minute, home run trade. Here's what I want. The kid's sharp, man. The kid. This is the youngest one. This is the 3-year-old. So let's say I am a insider. We put ourselves inside the brains of an insider. Let's say I ultimately want to buy euro yen, right? Because we think it's going to go up. Would that make sense? I'm an insider trader, institutional trader. I want to buy euro yen because I think it's going to go up, right? This is the perfect excuse today to kind of flood some negative news in the market, kind of push it down, right? Now, why would I want to push it down if ultimately I want it to go up? Yeah. Well, because 142 is a much better price than 144. So it'd be interesting to see how the market reacts today. It it would not shock me if we saw a short-term negative reaction where we see the euro pairs tank a little bit, tank to a better price, and then ultimately the market goes back to thinking, hey, you know what? Bank of Japan still wants a weak yen. We still are hiking rates. I would still value the euro over the yen. And then we see this thing go back up. So I thought it was really cool when when I started seeing the pullback this morning on the charts. I thought it was a perfect example of how I look for home run trades. I know we don't talk about it too much. I don't think we've ever talked about it on the live stream, but this is one of those examples where, again, the fundamentals and the technicals blend together very nicely, very nicely. So what is our job? Well, our job is nothing different, right? We've already done the analysis. We've been doing the analysis since Tuesday. We know exactly what we're looking for. We still just have to wait, right? From a technical perspective, if you're a technical trader, you still have to wait for all of your technical rules. You can't just get all excited about this and like start buying right now, right? That's against the rules. We still have to wait and for our reason to buy or reason to sell if you're on the other side. But I think it's cool for you guys to kind of get an inside peek at least how my mind works when it comes to these home run setups and understanding that you don't have to be a news expert, right? I am not a news expert by any mean. I have no classical training on fundamental analysis. You guys know my story. I got a D and a D plus in both my economic classes in college. But if you have the ability to use common sense, I guess, and I don't want to say common sense, but like common sense combined with a general knowledge of what's going on, and a general knowledge can be built over time by reading and watching and observing and taking notes. You can start finding opportunities like this, and they don't happen all the time. Don't get me wrong, but they do happen a few times a year. And if you can catch one or two of them, man, they could potentially be massive boosts to your equity curve if you're on the right side of it, which is pretty cool. We are going to look at something technical today because I got to give a technical setup. There's not much happening. I have zero interest in the market especially on these euro pairs, until the dust has settled. But I did think euro dollar is pretty cool. This was the trade you guys saw me almost miss yesterday. Then it gave me a second chance and I made some money off it, which was cool. But I want to talk a little bit about the euro dollar because I just had patterns on the brain. And I was talking to someone about how patterns come in bunches, and especially in consolidation. I think one of you guys asked yesterday about consolidation. And I don't think you guys realize how many patterns have been here on the euro dollar recently. In fact, we just completed a cipher with the news. But I want to show you this real quick just because I thought it was cool, because we've had about 4 patterns. The 5th one just occurred, and I'll show you where, right? Not all of them have been winners. That's the reality. But check this out real quick. right? This looks like a complete bunch of junk to most people, right? And real quick on YouTube, Fabio says, I'm waiting for the retest of 140 level, waiting for a double bottom or 2618 and get big targets out of it. Boom, I like it. You know exactly what you want. Love it. Rules based. No, usually, maybe, right? Rules based. But check this out. Let me know how many of you guys have saw all this, right? So we had one right here. The one I'd rather not talk about. Skunked out. Loser. We came right back, you loser, right? We came right back to here. Believe it or not, this was actually a winner, right? Target 1 winner, not target 2 winner, right there, right? We came right back after that with the cipher there. We had a near miss on a bat right here. This didn't hit the 50%, wasn't a bat. Then we had the one yesterday, which gave us a second chance, or gave me a second chance, spiked up and then spiked down. And then there was 2 more on the radar. One was a cipher right here. I didn't even pay it too mind. It might have been too small because of the ECB. And then another one was a potential, well, not anymore, but was a potential bat. So again, I bring this up because a couple weeks ago, we had a good conversation on like being lazy and not doing analysis, and the market sometimes being slow and being junky. Yet I told you over the last 2 weeks, I had a bunch of trading opportunities, even to my surprise. The truth is, you get these periods like this, which is over the last month, not even the last half month, I guess, to be honest with you, end of May. You got 4, 5, counting today's cipher. Again, I wouldn't trade that because it's the news event, but you got 4 patterns that completed right in this little consolidation area. And 3 were winners. 3 were winners. One was close to a winner. It just, this one right here, and some people might have won. Maybe if you had a looser stop loss, it got me, and then ran down, which I wasn't excited about. Tease. But these things do exist, and this is just one pair. So I think having a method to trade consolidative periods is key. Obviously, you don't have to. Hold on, I got a spammy person here in the chat on YouTube. I am going to, boop, there we go, get rid of them. You are gone forever. But yeah, good opportunities to take advantage of consolidations. And again, diversification. If you have something that takes advantage of the directional moves, you are in business. Evan says, need to back test those patterns. Yeah. They can be helpful. They can be helpful. All right. YouTubers, trading viewers, any questions on anything we talked about? Again, a kind of a light day for the trade of the day because you just want to kind of do something different today because there's not a great amount out there. A lot of it is just waiting until the storm clouds settle. But any question on home run trades or any questions on pattern consolidations here? Live rumors, maybe a short one today. We again, our interest on anything euro related is going to be really held off until about 9:30. I did have some other things on the radar, the pound yen fakie, and there's 2 patterns, but we shall see. Fabio says, I've been reporting and blocking these spammers. They are annoying. Yeah, that's the world we live in, man. Spammers and bots and ugh. You would think they'd have something better to do with their time. Cure world hunger or something like that, perhaps. But who knows? I don't know. I don't feel like anyone falls for that stuff, but you never know. Someone must if they're still in business, right? So anyway, I'll see you guys this weekend for the weekend trading edge video. Hit that like button on your way out. Live